this video. We're almost at 161k subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it if you're not subscribed, you can subscribe, you'll become a bestie, that's all it is. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, on with the video. Do you like my shirt, by the way? I really like the shirt. Anyway, on with the video. Hi, my besties! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, we have something that we haven't talked about in quite some time, and that is drama with Ryland Adams, drama with Trisha Paytas, a little bit more common, but together, drama with Trisha and Ryland. So, Trisha is now speaking out yet again about Ryland and about Shane, and this all stems from a little piece of Ryland's video in which he's talking about how his experience online has been recently, and the hate towards him, and just how this is affecting him, and Trisha has some things to say about it, and I think one of her statements is so ironic. We'll get to that though. So yeah, he did a video, and we're all aware that recently Ryland has been doing a lot more YouTube videos, and Shane Dawson has been editing them, and you know, that in itself has been giving people, you know, a little bit of a bad taste, because, you know, some people aren't ready for Shane back on the internet, because, you know, he hasn't addressed things, and he hasn't taken proper accountability. You know, he's taken a while off the internet. Have we seen change yet? We'll not know until he comes back. It's also not up to anyone to decide whether he comes back or not. That's on him. Also important to note. But yeah, a lot of people are finding it a bit strange that even in Ryland's videos, you know, they heavily feature Shane, whereas they didn't normally do that as much as what they did now. I'm talking in the thumbnails, the proper dialogue of the videos, and especially during the peak cancellation. Remember in summer, within a couple of weeks, Ryland was putting Shane in the forefront of his videos again, just so he could get an extra, you know, bit of attention and clicks on them, which, hey, I'm not judging, because we love that on this channel, but he was definitely doing that with the aim of, we've said that Ryland, in my opinion at least, isn't an interesting YouTuber or person at all, so having Shane there is definitely, you know, a buzz. It got the drama channels talking, it got the commentary, it got the journalists, people were talking, and the general public, because Shane was in this, and we were like, oh, look, Shane's here, but he hasn't been online. Then Shane was doing a bunch of Instagram stories about Ryland was responding, and only a couple days ago, we saw that on, you know, their stories, they were celebrating their anniversary, which, congratulations, guys, and they said that they want to start a family together, which, congratulations, guys. So, yeah, so there was that, and now Ryland is talking about the backlash that he's been getting online. So, let's just get straight into that, because we need to hear what Trisha had to say, because she has things to say. So, here we go. This is him addressing the masses. What are they called? What are Ryland Adams fans called? Delusional.
I gotta remember what I've been preaching even earlier in this video, is that I need to reframe my mindset.
Oh, that's also very interesting. Before I get on, the reframing his mindset was all in his podcast. We're all aware that Ryland was in so much drama. He was, you know, preaching Jeffrey, and then the drama with Trisha where she was saying that, you know, Ryland was a little Shane lapdog, which, I mean, we all could have guessed that, but that Shane chose Jeffrey over her, you know, his friendship with Trisha, and then Ryland was, you know, getting involved in drama in his podcast. Then whenever he was the drama, he was saying how much he hates drama, guys, and, you know, we gotta focus on what's right, and we gotta get zen in ourselves, and we gotta, you know, prioritize, you know, caring about ourselves and caring about not drama. And then he tried to rebrand his podcast that's called The Sip to not be about, you know, the sipping the tea. So again, we call it the nap on here. So him saying about, you know, trying to reframe his mindset, which was after the drama and him getting exposed and called out and having to issue, like, apologies, which didn't go down well, he was then saying that, you know, he's spending the time off social media trying to become more zen with himself. So that's the context of that.
I gotta remember what I've been preaching.
What have you been preaching,
besties? In this video is that I need to reframe my mindset. Where,
so true,
like,
bestie.
Turn what could be a negative into a positive, because I started scrolling for 2 seconds, and it just was enough to make me feel crazy. And there's a lot of love and a lot of support, but it is just this thing where, like, it's just a bigger test. Like, every time that I start feeling really good, something will, like, bring me a peg down, and it's just, I think, a reminder to me. I need to validate from within. How I feel about myself needs to come from in here. When the world seems to be and I mean my world. Like,
sorry.
All of
my friend Ellie just texted me, I have newfound respect and love for Demi Lovato. I'm so glad you came to that conclusion, and her new song is so good. Besties, there you go. My friend Ellie and her new documentary broke my heart. Thank you for updating me, Ellie. Girl, I'm working. So there you go, besties. This is the kind of text I get throughout the day. You know, Ellie loves Demi Lovato now, so there we go.
to validate from within. How I feel about myself needs to come from in here. When the world seems to be and I mean my world, like when all of my platforms seem to be hatred towards me. It is hard to get inspired to create. And then if I start looking at any of that, it's like, why would I want to create? Why would I want to make anything to be met with, like, he doesn't look inspired or like he wants to do this? Well, yeah, I'm trying to push through because I don't want to just like melt into my couch into nothing. But I just need to remember, like, take a deep breath. How anything's received is like I don't have control over. What I have control over is how I feel and what I do and my intention. So with that, I guess I'm gonna walk these dogs. They're like patiently waiting. Like, let's go on a walk, please.
Wow, super interesting. Okay, straight off the bat, like. Wow, I really don't have much to say. I don't have much to say about that. I mean, like, whenever he's saying about his social media platforms being so negative, I feel sorry for him. I'm not even gonna say but. However, that's a different word. His platforms in question is a drama channel podcast, which is negative in itself. Come on, if you want to say it about us, we can say it about you. You talk about trending topics with celebrities, and you know, how them celebrities perceive you talking about them is probably negative, and it's negative press, and it's juicy, and it's whatever. So, I mean, also, whenever we're in this space, it can be expected that we're going to get a lot of negative attention, and also, the full conversation with Shane Dawson, it's to be expected that people aren't going to be happy, Ryland, if you are pushing Shane Dawson to the forefront because you want more views and clicks, because people are excited to either see him or talk about him being back or whatever like that. You know, you're doing that, you reap the views, you reap the money from it, good for you, but at the same time, people aren't able to have the conversation about Shane on Shane's channel because he's gone, so they're gonna have it on yours. So while I feel sorry for you and you saying about you don't want to melt into the couch or whatever, okay, I'm sorry for you. It's also a question of if a drama channel knows what they're getting themselves into by putting a Shane Dawson video and the Shane Dawson little fans come and hate on us, it's the same way you pushing him like new information about him and acting like everything is, you know, fine and nothing's happening and he wasn't cancelled or people aren't looking for more, you know, explanations. You're putting him to the forefront and then expecting the general public who are still waiting for a response from him to not go to your page and be like, why is he ignoring? You know what I mean? It's like, and also in the midst of Trisha Paytas speaking up about how you made her feel and how Shane made her feel, it's just like how you're describing you feel is how many people who have described how you've made them feel. You know what I mean? Ex-friends or whatever. And it's just, I appreciate him saying this, but we're going to get to what Trisha had to say about it now. Of course she had something to say about it. So, someone responded and said, I almost genuinely felt sorry for Ryland for a moment, but then I suddenly remembered how they treated Trisha and gaslighted their audience and still chose to indulge in Jeffree Star. And that's another thing, him saying about the negativity and the negativities on all his platforms. The people he's posting on his platforms because he sucks their ass are negative people. So I don't understand what he really expects us. Again, I'm sorry that you're experiencing negativity on the platform, but then you're pushing negativity on the platform as well. So, this person was saying they almost felt sorry for him, then they remembered that literally a month ago he was being so negative and, you know, gaslighting his audience, allegedly, to being against Trisha Paytas because she was calling him out and stuff. So, I mean, Trisha responded and said, him and Shane telling me they had no idea the evil of Jeffree when I cried to them for a year about it, and then still supporting, working with, and being best friends, besties, as we would say, with that petty, vile human speaks volumes. She always says this, they made their deal with the devil, so dramatic, and it still breaks my heart. So again, the way that Ryland and Shane completely dropped Trisha and didn't want to believe her whenever she had been speaking up about what Jeffree had been doing and saying about her, which we then got confirmed was real because of Hair by Jay. They chose Jeffree over that and were also trying to silence Trisha in the process. Again, whenever we have all this information, it's hard to feel sorry for Ryland. It's so hard to feel sorry for him. And then him exploiting it on his podcast, which he's allowed to do, but don't then say that, you know, you're getting so much negativity on your platform whenever that's what you're pushing out. Damn, ma! Okay, so here we go. This is the most ironic sentence you'll ever hear from Trisha Paytas. I don't condone hate online at all. Girl, we've been supporting you on this channel recently, but let's not sugarcoat things. She said, I don't condone hate online at all. Extremely hypocritical, Trisha. But I've never been double-crossed with such coldness in my life than Shane and Ryland. It was so sick to hear Ryland straight up lie through his teeth about trauma that I shared. Again, this is all stuff that we've seen unfold in January, with Hair by Jay confirming how it was being acted, and then Trisha showing the text. We're not dumb. They're both manipulative and never to be trusted. Okay, and then she tweeted right after that and said, I look at Ryland with such disgust, and I hate that about me. I hate that I have such anger in my heart towards him and Shane. When I see him, it just makes me physically sick. And so then, the final tweet that Trisha did was, and again, this really dramatic angle she takes with Jeffree, which even, like, we're not the biggest Jeffree Star fans, but, like, we don't go this far with it. When you make a deal with the devil, you can't expect all sunshines and rainbows. And while I think this is, like, this tweet's very stupid, I can see it from the angle of when you surround yourself with negative people and put them on your platform is then inherently negative, so then there's going to be negativity on it. I think that's a smarter wording approach of it than what Trisha's saying. So now that we're aware of that again, one last time, let's hear what he has to say. Now that we know, like, even what he's been doing in the background, like, it just kind of contradicts his point here, no? Like him saying about the negativity and stuff, whenever we're aware that that was kind of his platform all the past couple months and pushing this agenda. But I mean, one last time.
What I've been preaching even earlier in this video.
Like, what he's been preaching has been what? About how much money him, Shane, and Jeffree make, pushing it on podcasts, then talking about drama, talking about other people's drama, then when it's on him being like, oh, I'm too weak for this, I can't handle the drama anymore, when it's about you. Okay.
I need to reframe my mindset where, like, turn what could be a negative into a positive, because I started scrolling for 2 seconds and it just was enough to make me feel crazy. And there's a lot of love and a lot of support, but it is just this thing where, like, it's just a bigger test. Like, every time that I start feeling really good, something will, like, bring me a peg down. And it's just, I think, a reminder to me. I need to validate from within. How I feel about myself needs to come from in here. When the world seems to be and I mean my world, like, when all of my platforms seem to be hatred towards me. It is hard to get inspired to create.
The silence was so loud.
Looking at any of that, it's like, why would I want to create? Why would I want to make anything to be met with, like, he doesn't look inspired or like he wants to do.
The comments I'm seeing of Ryland aren't, he doesn't look inspired. It's why are you pushing, never mind.
But I just need to remember, like, take a deep breath. How anything's received is
so true.
Like,
wait, are we meant to breathe out?
Control over. What I have control over is how I feel and what I do and my intention. So with that, I guess.
Okay, so I mean, do with that what you will. That little speech. Do with Trishas Response what you will. I want to know what your opinion is on this. Trisha's really not backing down on this with Shane and Ryland. But also, it just feels incredibly, like, weird whenever Ryland's gonna come forward and almost just fully act a victim. Whenever we're aware he had no problem, less than a month ago, pushing the, like, drama, and I'm besties with a rich person, Jeffree Star, and oh my god, I love Jeffree Star. You know, this kind of thing, whenever Trisha was explicitly, at that time, his friend, saying that he was literally bullying her and doing all this, and then that was ignored, and then Hair by Jay came out and basically confirmed that that was what's happening, and then that was ignored too. I mean, do with it all what you will. I want to know what your opinion is, though. We'll talk about it below. I love you, bestie. I hope you're having the best day. I'll see you later. That's hot. Bye!